Hello fellow resident reps, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm Miss Pocket Papa, and in today's video I wanted to talk about something that I thought other people could relate to, and if not, then wow, I am truly a loner. Anyway, I've been feeling really down and out about my island and my capabilities lately, seeing these amazing designs and ideas that people have been sharing online, especially with the new update. And I started to question whether or not I even had something worth showing on here, especially since I am not capable of some of the amazing things that other creators do in the game. I realized that maybe not everyone plays that way, or maybe not everyone, likes those ideas or appreciates them but doesn't want them for their own island. If you're anything like me and you could get really in your head about things or feel like you're not good at playing this game, I thought maybe I could be everyone's hype man and just remind everyone that there's not one way to play. There's a million ways islands can look, and there's a way to appreciate all of them. And despite how you might be feeling right now, I am here to tell you that your island rocks as is. One thing that's helped me get out of my rut is by looking at my playing as a journey instead of focusing on the end result, because as a perfectionist I will never be happy with the end result. So just looking back at what my island used to look like, I am taken aback by how I've been able to transform some ideas that I've had since the beginning. So my unsolicited advice is to take a bunch of screenshots and pictures as you play, especially if you play a lot and you plan on continuing to play a lot, because it could just be super cool to look back at where you started and to just lift yourself up, because in the moment it could be really hard to lose sight of how cool your island is now, but when you could look back at old pictures you could really see a difference and be like, wow, this is truly something different. It's helped me to have a better outlook and a more positive outlook when playing, and just bring back that joy of playing. So with that being said, feel free to come along with me and let's look at some ways to expand on and transform some ideas. So the first thing that I wanted to show was my final path design. I found that paths were the hardest thing that I dealt with throughout my time playing. I changed them so much. I came up with a bunch of different path designs that I ended up not liking over time, and I really struggled with them and was really indecisive about everything that I had tried and just wasn't really satisfied. So it took me a really long time to figure out what I wanted to do. I'm gonna insert clips here of different designs that I've had since the very beginning, and just look at how different they look. And at least I tried making my own paths. I give myself props for that. I really just wanted to try and make something that was my own, but I just wasn't happy with anything I was capable of making. I decided to try to use the preset path because I really like the way it sounds. I hate the way that custom design paths sound, honestly. I'm really sad that they don't make it just sound like normal walking on a solid thing, and it kind of sounds like squishy. So I tried to use a preset path, and before I just had the stone, and when I added the stone fencing it was just a lot of gray and black, and it didn't really tie in with the other colors that I had going on in the area. I have a lot of brown tones, so I was contemplating on changing it again when I thought maybe I could just add some type of trim to the fencing, especially to cover up the rigid edges of the path. I hate that they're all like spiky on the end. I really wish they would change that, but you get what you get. So I tried coming up with a trim that had different colors instead of just like more stone colors. So I tried to do like a brick look, and I ended up really liking the way it looked. It really tied in those colors that were missing from my path, and I realized that even the smallest of details can really up your theme. Like just this one little detail ties a lot together. And it's fine if you create paths and it doesn't look like some of these crazy designs that people come up with, and it's also totally fine if you don't come up with any of your own designs and you just use other designs. Part of this game isn't just how well you can design, but how well you could put things together. So either way, I just think that no matter how you utilize designs, or if you don't even use designs for your path, totally fine. Another area of my island that really transformed over time was my marketplace. So I had this continuous unbreakable habit of sidewalks being sidewalks and everything else being on grass. So that detail really changed the game for me when I just started putting down paths everywhere that wasn't meant to be a place for grass or plants or trees specifically. As you could see here, my original marketplace was in the grass. Everything was just in the grass, which is totally fine. I mean, it didn't really look bad or anything. It looked kind of off to me, like especially the light post in the corner just like being in the grass like that. Somehow at this point in time I decided to change my path to using a preset one and incorporate this into the marketplace. So that's when I switched to just paving down everything for the marketplace. Luckily, because I used a preset path, I was able to put blankets down, which was a really nice extra element to have. I didn't really have an area that I could use so many textures like this. You know, you have the sidewalk going on and then blankets and little leaves falling around everywhere. So I was really excited to be able to do that because I ditched my previous path. And to me, it just looks like a much more cohesive idea, you know, having a big paved place where people would lay out their blankets to have stalls that are set up. You know, I've been to markets that are set up in parking lots or something. Not always are they just like in grass in a field somewhere. And it's also just nice being able to interact with it more, like being able to walk up to the stalls instead of having all the stalls up at the front and having everything behind them, which is also something that would make sense if vendors are standing there, you know, they have the rest of their merchandise in the back, but it's a game, so you know what, why not shake it up a bit? The last part of this video, I wanted to talk about something like having an idea from the very beginning and just showing and talking about how it evolved over time. So this is my rainbow garden. I am absolutely in love with it, but I know that there are already a bunch of rainbow gardens out there and there's so many different versions, and would I say mine's the coolest? Probably not, but when you look at what I started off with, which originally wasn't even a rainbow garden, it was just pink and purple mums because I kept getting mystery islands that had those flowers, and those were the only hybrids that I had at first. I literally dug all of them up and took them with me. Anyway, we went from that to having a full-on rainbow garden where I grew all these hybrids myself. It took forever, and I just, you know, this idea just kept growing and growing. One idea that I had was that I really wanted this garden to be its own thing where you could not see anything else around it. So instead of having just a fence, I planted trees on either side so you can't see the little park area that I have on one side and the marketplace on the other. I really wanted this to just be its own focal point, and that was a detail that really just changed it up. You can't see anything else going on except for what's ahead of you, and it's just all of these colors. Another idea that I had over time was like, okay, there's all these flowers, cool. How can we make it even more rainbow? And so I was trying to think of and look for different items that might have a bunch of different rainbow colors, and I am so happy that the star fragments are literally all of the colors of the rainbow and then some. I think that is so cool, and it was just so perfect for this garden idea that I had. And then luckily I was able to make the butterfly models work as well. There wasn't one for every single color, but spaced out between the little star fragments and the hedges, I was able to make it work and have the colors, you know, of those different items line up with the colors of the flowers. And then I found this really beautiful path that just kind of went along with, you know, like the starry, rainbowy, just really magical theme. And I know it's totally completely different from the suburban theme that I have going on. This is my first island, so it's a completely multi-themed island with a bunch of different ideas that I just could not let go of, and this was one of them. So I'm gonna go over that in my island tour if you want to check that out. That's gonna be coming out soon. But anyway, it could be really hard to be the first person to come up with something or be the best under a certain type of idea or concept, and when I just take a step back and look at how far I've come and how I've been able to keep ideas that I've had since day one and expand on them so much, it's just like, wow, okay, maybe I'm not playing for nothing, you know, maybe I do have something to show other people. And yeah, this was just really uplifting for me, and I just thought I would bring that up because maybe someone else needs to hear that too. If you're also a perfectionist or you get really in your head about your island, just look at where you've started and look at where you are now and look at how many changes you've made. Look at how your ideas have just grown and grown over time. I'm sure it's awesome. So have a little faith in yourself and have a little confidence in your island. I'm sure it's lovely. If you made it to this part of the video, I love you. I may not know you, but I love you and I thank you. I really appreciate it, especially with this video, particularly the video that really got me out of nearly quitting after only making 2 videos. So that really means the world to me. If you like this content, feel free to subscribe, and again, I hope to make better and better videos and concepts in the future. I have been recording a lot of different things, so I'll be uploading more frequently. I'll have some holiday things coming up. I'm doing speed builds for my second island where I also ask for advice, so if you want to tell me what to do, check out one of those videos and leave a comment on what you think I should do. And yeah, I hope you're doing great. I hope life treats you well, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!